Jacob Padilla here with the spring practice report. After our first look at the Huskers here, had brief about 20 minutes viewing period for us this morning at the start of practice. Didn't get to see a whole lot, a lot of warm ups, some position drills and stuff. It's good to see the quarterbacks out there. First time the freshman Daniel Kalen is wearing 12. Dylan Raiola is in 15. I got to see both those guys throwing to some tight ends, some receivers there. I know I think Raiola hitting Fedoni is a highlight that I think fans are going to be excited about for years to come. Got to see a little bit of that this morning. So good thing about practice, too, is they get to bring in a lot of the local commits that maybe haven't enrolled yet. I got to see Donovan Jones there, was from Omaha North. Kane Vermas, a junior from Miller North, is here, and a few other guys. One thing of note is both the whole team are wearing the Guardian caps, which are the kind of concussion prevention devices, the big old caps that you see in the NFL. They've got the whole team decked out in those now, and Rhule said that kind of he follows the science, and the feedback from the NFL was it really did help. So they're implementing those this year, and they've got red and white ones to split up between the offense and defense to make things simpler there. After practice, Rhule had some notes to pass along. He talked about how they're kind of experimenting a tweak with practice this year, where they're splitting the roster up into 3 teams during a competitive period, and then kind of having them go against each other in drills, in situational things, to really kind of elevate the competition level, to get the guys a little extra edge there, because he said this team, like himself, really likes to compete, and anytime you kind of make it a competition, it ratchets things up just that much more. So they got the team names are split up to basically the old Nebraska names, the old pre-corn Huskers. You got the Bug Eaters, the Old Gold Knights, and the Rattlesnake Boys are the 3 squads here. And so all 3 of the scholarship quarterbacks get a chance to kind of lead their own team. So Rhule said he kind of likes the look of that, and they'll kind of continue it as long as they're healthy and it's going well and they've got enough to split it up. On those quarterbacks, Rhule said that Heinrich Harburg has done a really good job kind of mastering the offense, looks a lot more comfortable in year 2 in the system. And the freshmen, both Raiola and Kalen, have done a great job preparing, really studying, and they're comfortable with the offense as well. They know where to go with the ball. He said they're on time, they're savvy, and they're smart. And the goal is to have both those guys ready at the end of spring to start if need be. He wants to have all 3 quarterbacks on the roster there ready to go for whatever the situation may call for. Elsewhere, Nash Hutmaker is back with the football team after his run to nationals with the wrestling team. Rhule said that he told Tony White that, yeah, we don't want Nash participating at all early in the week, and then he went out on practice, and apparently the message didn't get passed along because he was out there with the team, kind of pulled him out. They're just kind of keeping him into some individual stuff for now. Coming off that grueling wrestling run, but he wants to be out there with his teammates, and they're going to let him be a little bit at least. And the goal for him this year is to play at 310. He had to cut down to 285 to meet weight for wrestling. Said he's probably been wrestling at 295. Not sure where he's at yet, but 310 is kind of the goal for him to play at this year, a little lighter than he was last year, and they kind of like the mobility that provides for him. Couple of injury notes to pass along. Deshaun Singleton and Brody Tagaloa both ended the season hurt last year, and neither one is expected to compete in the spring, but Rhule expects them both to be ready for the fall. On Singleton, they have submitted an appeal to get him a red shirt for last year, where he played the 4 games, and then in that 5th game basically played 1 snap and then got hurt. And so they're hoping, Rhule's belief is that he should get that season back if he were to want to play a couple more years here. So they're campaigning for that. We'll see kind of what comes of that. Elsewhere, a guy that's kind of, you always kind of listen for the off-the-radar names, guys that have impressive coaches, and we've seen walk-ons in the past kind of make name for themselves. And Roman Mangini is a guy that the Rhule brought up on his own as a guy who's done really well in the offseason. They're handing out black jerseys for guys that do stuff during the offseason, and Mangini has basically earned one every single time they've kind of handed those out there. So Rhule said he's a guy they're trying to find a role for because he's tough, he's quick, and he's a great teammate. We heard from some of the players a little bit. Teddy Prohaska said he's excited. He feels good. This is the first time that he's gone through spring full go since his freshman year. And the goal is to play a little bit lighter this year, in that 310, 312 range. He was at about 315 last year, and he likes the change and kind of how it feels for him right now. And then Thomas Bodoni also said it's been fun working with Marcus Satterfield, the offensive coordinator, who has slid over to working directly with the tight ends instead of the quarterbacks this year, with Glenn Thomas joining the program. And Fedoni said he's insanely smart and called him a wizard with offense. And right now, the tight ends are kind of learning from the kind of broader perspective of everybody's role as opposed to just what they're supposed to do. So that helps them kind of connect with the quarterbacks and knowing kind of what those guys are thinking. So those are some of the notes from the first open practice. We here at Hurrdat Sports and Hail Varsity will have updates throughout the spring.